has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall, coast to coast.
Final hour of C2C on a Thursday, the NFL opener tonight. But thank God, in the interim, we have our baseball insider, Bob Nightingale, the legend from USA Today, back on C2C. Bob, I want to start with this. The Chapman deal. We were just talking, you and I, off air about Snell. He threw 43 pitches today and then never came out for the second inning. You almost think it's because of what? And then do you think Chapman's deal, well, obviously it's a good deal for Chapman getting $150 million. Do you think he's worth that kind of money in 6 years?
Yeah, I think he may be. Just he plays great defense. He showed clubhouse leadership, steady guy, 22 home runs. So, yeah, I mean, if someone had offered that to him last winter, he would have signed. I think the Blue Jays were around 110, 120 at one point and never got what he wanted. So, yeah, great deal for him. And I think that he knew that, hey, he wasn't going to do any better in the free agent market. And the Giants at least can get that solved without worrying about third baseman, because there are not too many third basemen out there. Alex Bregman is about it.
So that's like a market value type of deal. I don't think he's spectacular or anything. I don't think he's bad. Is that just market price?
I think so. $25 million a year probably is market price. It means Alex Bregman from the Astros will get over that. At one point, I think he was thinking 300. That's not going to happen. But I think it kind of paves a way for him to get, around the $200 million mark from somebody, because there's still about 4 or 5 teams out there that need third baseman.
You don't think people want Snell in the East Coast? Why is that? And they're finished. They're 8.5 games out of the wild card. They're finished.
I think they just worry about him. I mean, when he went to San Diego, he said there was a lot of pressure leaving Tampa. And let's face it, I mean, San Diego is still a small market team and not much pressure. We saw what happened in the first half of this year. Kind of felt the pressure. I know he missed spring training. So I just think teams worry about how is the guy going to react. I mean, it's a different animal, particularly in Boston and Philly. So you got to be a special guy to be able to handle that. And we've seen so many guys can't handle that pressure in Philly, Boston, New York. And I think the jury's out on him, whether he can do so. Obviously, he's had a lot of bad first halves. You're paying the same kind of money. And, if you don't perform first half, your team can be out of the race the second half. And there's no pressure at all right now on what's going on with the Giants because they're out of the race.
So you talk about San Diego, and you're obviously in Phoenix, and the Diamondbacks, I think, have been unbelievable. Texas is toast. They went to the World Series. They won it all against Arizona. But here's Arizona again. They're in that second slot, and San Diego has as many wins as the vaunted Yankees, who, let's face facts, we've been running clips of Aaron Boone for months saying where we want to go. We're not where we need to be where we need to go. He's got more one-liners than a comedian, this guy, and they never get it done at all, ever. And the Padres have as many wins as they do.
Yeah, I tell you what, Mike Schilt has done a great job there. I mean, they're actually a better team without Soto than they were with them. But, no Soto, no Josh Hader, the all-star closer, no Blake Snell, no Seth Lugo, no Michael Wacha. And, they come back all the time. I read they already have 13 more comeback wins already this year than they had all last year. Last year, they were down 2 runs. They quit. This team comes back. We saw last night, big 5-run comeback. Now they got a great bullpen. The Dodgers say the team they kind of fear, not say fear, but worry about the most is Arizona Diamondbacks. It's a loaded team, best offense in baseball right now. Phillies are very streaky. Diamondbacks can play with anybody. So they're the team to watch, I think, in the National League playoffs.
So I want to, before I leave Arizona, I want to ask you, you go out there a lot. You went to those Pirate games. You told me, how often do you like to go watch them play baseball? Like, you go everywhere, being the national beat guy that you are, the best in the business. But how often when you're home do you like go to those games regularly?
Yeah, if I'm in town, I'll go to just about every game and see what's out there. Whether they're talking visiting team or the Diamondbacks,
Right.
makes it more fun with the balanced schedule. But yeah, they're a good team. You remember now they were winning without three top guys. They're still without Ketel Marte, who was their MVP candidate for a long, long time. Still
Right.
without the catcher Marino, and just got back Christian Walker, who probably one of the best all-around first basemen in the game. If the Mets don't bring back Alonso, I could certainly see Christian Walker playing for the Mets.
Walker kills the Dodgers. He's got like all those home runs against LA. He owns them. I think they play him again 4 games. I could be wrong, but that could be significant here at the end of the season. Let me go back to one thing with San Diego really quick, and it's the Merrill chase with Skeens for that Rookie of the Year. Now, I don't even want to guess that you're going to tell me Merrill deserves it, because I'm going to reach through that TV and grab you by the ear, pull your earlobe off, because I like what Skeens has captivated baseball this year, the entire year. And the All-Star weekend was about him. The All-Star game was about him. And he did a great job. And then everybody said he was going to get shut down and everything else. And yet, the only time that team ever wins is when he's pitching. And then the next night out, they get no hit. I mean, do you think that the kid playing 7 days a week, Merrill, is better than him? I still think that Skeens is a bigger story, because I don't think anybody – now, I love San Diego. You know that. My kid goes to San Diego State. But no one gives a rat's ass about San Diego anywhere else.
Maybe I'll pull my own ears so you don't have to pull them. I agree with you. Skeens a much bigger story. Love the whole Air Force connection, living at the Air Force Academy for 4 years. Love what it's all about, the Academy of Life. Certainly the best story in baseball. Rookie of the Year, it's going to be a runaway. It is going to be, Jackson Merrill. This kid has never played outfield in his life. They told him in spring training, we don't have room for you at shortstop. Go try center field. He's probably the MVP of that team. He may get some, lower MVP votes. I think he's going to run away with the MVP. Remember now, he's doing this every single day. Skeens has had, 18 starts, 19 starts. This kid played, he's going to play over 145, 150 games and been lights out. They would not be in the playoff position without him. So, it's not Skeens' fault he plays for a team that's losing, but you got to give this kid credit for helping a team get in the playoffs.
I will never forget the game that they were up 10-3, and I had them on the run line, laying a run and a half, and they gave up, what was it, like 6 runs in the ninth inning or something, and they lost 14-10 to the Cubs. I wanted to vomit. All right, let me ask you really quick. Respectfully, I got a minute. The Mets have been on fire, and do you think they're gonna get the last wild card, or will it be the Braves?
I'm going to Atlanta again. I know they're hot, but you know what? You look at that schedule. They still got, 3 or 4 games against Atlanta in Atlanta. I want to say they got 7 more games against the Phillies. Atlanta knows how to win down the stretch. The Mets don't. We all remember the Mets coughed it up a couple years ago. Atlanta came back and won the division. So I'll take Atlanta. And they're dangerous. I mean, Chris Hill, what a gift. People talk about Babe Ruth being the worst trade in Red Sox history. It might be Chris Hill right behind him going to Atlanta.
Mafia just swallowed his tongue. He's the biggest Mets fan here, and he's gagging on a spoon right now, and he just wrote, hold on, I hate Nightingale. Get him off the air. This is unbelievable type of behavior that we're seeing exhibited on this program today. Bob, before you get injured, there's a lot of threats going on here towards you. I'm going to let you get out of here safe. God bless you. Great stuff, Bob. Thank you. We'll catch up again real soon and talk baseball.
Let's go.
anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Try and set the stage for what should be a great year of NFL action.
There's a handful of teams that potentially can compete for a Super Bowl championship.
Confusion and uncertainty this year more than some in the past.
This team looks like it's ready to make a move, but we just don't know if it's bad or good this year.
J.J. McCarthy is eventually going to take over, but it's a no-lose situation for them.
I mean, they suck. They were 7-10.
Only on SportsGrid.
Let's go.
Welcome to the Live Golf Team Championship.
The golf has been mesmerizing.
They are the Live Golf Team Champions.
Team golf is back.
Oh, yes!
Are you ready?
Let's go! That's what champions do.
Merrill's going to run away with it. I'm very disappointed in Bob. Very disappointed. Now you're going to give me this Derek Shelton meltdown. We got a late season guy on the hot seat meltdown video here.
I got a feeling that Derek knows he's in his last few weeks as the manager of the Buccos. So after the game last night, of course, the Pirates were no hit. So throw that into the mix as well. You don't get a hit all night long. And then somebody asked him about Rowdy Tellez coming in to pitch in the 8th inning. And let's just say that the skipper was not thrilled with that question.
Was Rowdy in the 8th just because you guys don't have an off day tomorrow? Just trying to...
Yeah, come on, Noah. It's 11-0. It's 11-0. Bednar, Holderman both threw yesterday. Santana's been our best reliever. Chapman, I'm not going to pitch in that situation. Come on, you've watched enough baseball to know that. It's 11-0. Seriously. No, you don't have to ask her. There's a better question than that.
Okay.
Seriously. I mean, it's 11-0.
He's just not having it.
He's not. That is a guy who needs a scotch.
He needs some teriyaki salmon. He needs a little teriyaki salmon.
He certainly does. The Cubs put the steel mill on the IL with elbow tendonitis. That's kind of like what I said to you with Seager, too. When you get elbow tendonitis and it's September the 5th, you won't see him again. Steele's probably going to be done after that. The Angels did beat the Dodgers last night. I don't have time to play it, but they scored 5 runs in the first inning, highlighted by Mickey. Don't give me the cognac, give me the Moniac with a 3-run homer in that one. So nice job by him.
Don't give me the cognac, hit a 3-run
He's
bomb.
been hot. He's been hot, that Moniac, for the Angels. The Dodgers are going to get Yamamoto back on Tuesday against the Cubs, as he's done a couple of rehab starts already. The Padres did beat the Tigers 6-5. Welcome back, Fernando Tatis Jr. He had the walk-off hit, Scotty, in the 10th for the Friars, and we discussed Matt Chapman with the 6-year extension, $151 million for him.
Bob said.
Market value, as they were saying to us, as Bob said. The Phillies and the Marlins will kick us off for tonight. We do have a few games in baseball on a Thursday night going up against the NFL opener. Ranger Danger Suarez for the Phillies in South Beach against Adam Oller. Minus 230 for the Phillies now, plus $190 for the Fish and an 8.5.
I mean, I can't even run line it. It's minus $1.50. The juice is just flowing all over the streets. I can't do it. So I think the Phillies put 10 on the Marlins themselves. Give me the over.
Should be some big crowds this weekend at PNC for the Nationals and the Pirates. Start of a 4-game series between these two, Jake Irvin and Bailey Falter tonight. Minus 125 for the Buccos, plus 105 for the Nats, and an 8.5.
I like Irvin and that price, to be honest with you, over the Bucks. Like, the Pirates it's fork time. You know what I mean? It's time to go over to the Hyde Park Steakhouse and have a tomahawk. I mean, season over. Like, let's go eat steaks. I mean, your boy Derek's livid. Skeens is going to lose the Rookie of the Year. It's downtrodden time. The Steelers are playing football. Once the Steelers play football, the Pirates become absolutely meaningless.
Nobody's happy there in Pittsburgh. They just want to get to football.
Listen, timeout. I got 4 left. My buddy tried to lure me to the Pirate-Yankee game on like the 27th, 28th time. I'm like, yeah, listen, I'm really busy.
Jeez. Man, the Pirates still got to play the Yankees, huh? Yankees will lose 2 out of 3 to the Pirates. Where's that, at the stadium? They're playing at the stadium this year?
It's in the Bronx. Like, I could go, but like,
boy.
Listen, it's on a Saturday and a Sunday. Like, I'm watching football, bro. I got a gambling problem. I can't sit out there at that place and watch them lose.
Would you go if Skeens is pitching?
Oh, that's another story entirely.
Now,
that might
you'd have to look at that ahead of time and hope they keep him on the right schedule. Because you got to look. That'd be something if he's pitching in the Bronx. You know,
I think the Sunday game's a night game. I think it's Sunday night. I could be wrong. Maybe it is 1 o'clock on Sunday. I take that back.
It's got to be 1 o'clock if they're playing on a Sunday. In fact, I have it now in front of me here. It's actually the last 3 days of the regular season. They close the season with the Pirates.
I know.
They won't pitch Skeens that day. They'll have Skeens shut. Now, maybe Friday night, but they might have Skeens shut down.
Honestly, I would rather be kidnapped and put in the back of a van with a bag over my head and go watch the Pirates play the Yankees. Honestly, no. If there was nothing else going on, but when there's college football and pro football going on, like Pain Day, like, are you kidding me on Pain Day?
Can't have it. Can't have it. It's Friday night or nothing for you, that series. That would be the only way we'd get you out there.
Busy on
the
Friday
night game. Rockies are in Atlanta to close out this series. Austin Gas Can Gomber going for Colorado. Ronaldo Lopez goes for the Braves, who are heavy lumber here, minus 285. Plus 230 for Colorado and an 8.5.
I mean, honest to God, I guess run line the Braves at minus $1.25. There's no other option. They're going to kill them.
That's probably what's going to happen. Gomber stinks. We're going to try to go after him with some homers tonight as well. The Angels are in Arlington against the Rangers. Our boy Jack Kokanowitz is going for Anaheim. Cody Bradford goes for the Rangers, who are minus 190, plus 160 for Anaheim, and an 8.5.
Yeah, I like Bradford and the run line at plus $1.10 with the Rangers at Globe over the lowly Angels. The Angels win once every 2 weeks, and that was last night, so scratch that off. They're not winning again for 2 weeks.
Probably not. And finally, the Tigers are in San Diego against the Padres to finish off that series. It'll be Martin Perez against Casey Mize tonight, minus 160 for the Friars, plus 135 for the Tigers, and an 8.5.
The Friars are going to light up Don't Call Me Larry Mize again. I mean, honestly, it's got to be the Friars.
It's got to be the Friars. We'll come back. I will give you a couple of homers tonight. Thank God we at least got off the deck with Juan Soto last night to get us going. Now maybe we can roll ourselves into multiple tonight. If possible. While maybe everybody's distracted with the NFL, maybe we can catch a couple of ringers with the Taters here tonight. We'll do that when we come back.
anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Try and set the stage for what should be a great year of NFL action.
There's a handful of teams that potentially can compete for a Super Bowl championship.
Confusion and uncertainty this year more than some in the past.
This team looks like it's ready to make a move, but we just don't know if it's bad or good this year.
J.J. McCarthy is eventually going to take over, but it's a no-lose situation for them.
I mean, they suck. They were 7-10.
Only on SportsGrid.
Let's go. Welcome to the Live Golf Team Championship.
The golf has been mesmerizing.
They are the Live Golf Team Champions.
Team golf is back.
Oh, yes!
Are you ready?
Let's go! That's what champions do.
Let's hear about these taters that are going to be ringing the bell while everyone's focusing on the Ravens and Chiefs tonight. We need to make some money on some taters.
We certainly do, Scotty. We've got a 4-pack for you tonight. We go down a little bit because we have all those touchdown plays in the Chief-Raven game that we have to give ourselves just a 4-pack here. We'll go to Atlanta first. Of course, one of our favorites, Austin Gas Can Gomber, is on the mound for Colorado. Well, what do we have here? Jorge Soler, 3 for 8 with 2 homers off of Gomber in his career. Now, it's a low price, plus 280, but that's okay. We're going to go with it. Next, we'll go to Miami. Listen, I know one thing, Scotty, doing this with home runs. When Kyle Schwarber's hot, you ride with Kyle Schwarber because he hits them in just bunches. Like, he's gonna hit 7 or 8 over like a week and a half span here. He had 3 the other night. He had 1 yesterday. Going to face this guy, Aller, down in South Beach. Plus 235 for Kyle Schwarber tonight down there. Next, Taylor Ward has actually been on a little bit of a heater for the Angels as well. Against the lefty Bradford tonight in Arlington. He's leading off. He's been on a tear. Plus 440 for him. And in honor of, I look at it this way. If we're not going to get the Skeens NL Rookie of the Year ticket, I might as well root for Jackson Merrill just to continue to go absolutely off facing this guy Mize tonight and the rest of that Tiger pen. Plus 560 for Jackson Merrill, who hit one last night. Let's stay hot with Merrill here, Scotty. Soler, Schwarber, Ward, and Merrill to get us going on a
The
Thursday.
4-pack Shakur tonight from Carver High, including the youngster Jackson Merrill of the Friars with a big ticket at plus 560.
Let's get involved. We'll be keeping our eye on the Taters while we also watch the Ravens and the Chiefs getting it going. All right, tomorrow we will go wall-to-wall with all the college games for the weekend, and there are a lot of them, of course, Texas and Michigan. We'll go through everything. Florida is going to start prized freshman DJ Lagway at quarterback on Saturday against Samford. Graham Mertz still in concussion protocol, so Billy Napier, Scotty, will try to save the season with Lagway. It's hard to say that. They've only played 1 game, but it was so disastrous last week against Miami that they need any kind of jump that they can get. We'll see if DJ can provide that for them there. And you sent me this story today, and I almost had to read it twice. Michigan coach Sharon Moore is coaching without a signed contract this year. How about that? That is absolutely bizarre that's going on up in Ann Arbor.
You know, it really is incredible. And he said, you know, they're working on it. You have got to be kidding me. This guy is coaching without a contract. Now, Jim Harbaugh left for the NFL. I get it. You lose the national championship coach out the door to the NFL so he doesn't have to deal with all this heinous NCAA charges against him and NCAA prison and all the rest. But you got to be kidding me. I have never heard of such a thing. I have never heard of a coach replacing a coach and not having a deal in place. You got to be kidding me that this guy Moore doesn't have a deal. Meanwhile, they win by 20. They were favored by 21, and the fans weren't happy with the 20-point win over Fresno. And believe me, if they lose to Texas on Saturday at the Big House, they're going to turn on him like an ex-wife. I mean, honestly. And he has no contract? I mean, you can't even make this up, right? Like, literally, that's why I sent it to you, I almost fell over.
Absolutely bizarre that's his situation for them this season. Because like you said, you never know what could happen. If things turn south, there's an easy way to maybe try to wiggle out of some things if you are Michigan. Okay, there you go with that. We have two great tennis tonight, Scotty, in Flushing at the U.S. Open. Jessica Pegula did get the upset last night against Swiatek to reach the semis. Jannik Sinner beat Medvedev in 4 sets last night on the men's side to reach the semis as well. Look at this, Scotty. Navarro and Sabalenka in the first game. Pegula facing Muchova in the second. And Pegula's favored, minus 156. Of course, Sabalenka, a huge favorite over Navarro in the first one. Two great women's semis tonight out in Queens.
Yeah, I think that Emma Navarro story is fantastic. The former Virginia Cab national champion in Charlottesville. I'm rooting for her, but I think Sabalenka, she hits like a man. I mean, this chick hits 125 miles an hour. She's a power player, power server, a vicious player. I'm pulling for Navarro, though, for sure, and Pegula.
Yeah, it would be great to see one, if not two, American ladies in the final.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the game starts so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Try and set the stage for what should be a great year of NFL action.
There's a handful of teams that potentially can compete for a Super Bowl championship.
Confusion and uncertainty this year more than some in the past.
This team looks like it's ready to make a move, but we just don't know if it's bad or good this year.
J.J. McCarthy is eventually going to take over, but it's a no-lose situation for them.
I mean, they suck. They were 7-10.
Only on SportsGrid.
Let's go. Welcome to the Live Golf Team Championship.
The golf has been mesmerizing.
They are the Live Golf Team Champions.
Team golf is back. Oh, yes! Are you ready?
Let's go! SWAT champions do.
Adam Kaplan is our NFL insider on SportsGrid. You see him across the board on literally every show, and more importantly on C2C, a double shot today. You can follow him on X at Kaplan NFL. Almost 30 years covering the National Football League. 5 years with Uncle Futrelli here on C2C. We'll start with this. I have always said to you and others, guys with bad hamstrings and calves remain that way until they're better. Guys that come back early from hamstrings and calves and think they're better, but actually aren't better, have what's happening to Russell Wilson right now.
Yeah, let me explain the Russell Wilson situation. So Wilson had a calf strain to begin training camp, right? He missed the early portion. I saw him when he came back to practice when I was there for 2 days in Latrobe. He looked fine, okay? Has had no issues until now. It's the same calf, by the way, that they're listing on the injury report for. He's getting reevaluated. They'll see what happens tomorrow. It's not good. Tomorrow's the last day of practice for the week. Then they travel Saturday. Of course, Justin Fields took over for him when he couldn't practice and couldn't finish. So that's not good. Because your Steelers, by the way, they're banged up on the offensive line, right? We'll get to that in a second. Rowan Wilson, which I told you a couple weeks ago, it's actually a high ankle sprain, not a normal ankle sprain. Their third-round pick, receiver out of Michigan. They're not very deep at wide receiver. This worries me, Scott, with their injuries on the offensive line. Wilson, and you're talking about an older quarterback in his mid-30s. You worry about these kind of injuries as quarterbacks get older. These tend to linger, by the way. You got to be careful with calf. You know, as a basketball player, these things can reoccur, which has just happened now on the same calf that he had. I'm going back, Scott, the first week of August, okay? You're talking about a month ago. That does worry me, and we're time's running out here. They got to get this thing right. And they made that trade for Justin Fields, as you know. There's a reason why they have him on the football field. By the way, Isaac Seumalo's not going to play, who's was their best lineman last year when they're starting guards with the pectoral strain. Vitano took all the starters' reps today, who's going to be their starting right tackle. That's good. Hopefully there will not be a setback with an MCL sprain. So right now he's trending towards being able to play. But again, their depth in the offensive line's not good. But defensively, and we'll talk more about this tomorrow, they're pretty healthy. And when you look at the Falcons, Kyle Pitts, by the way, returned to practice today. He gave everybody a scare, particularly people who play fantasy, but he's fine. He took all his reps today with that hamstring issue.
All right, so let me ask you about Warren. He thinks his hamstring's better, and you know, I'm worried about that. Like, all it takes is you retweak that thing, and then you're out. Yep. He'll miss 4 or 5 games.
Yeah, and Jalen Warren, by the way, this is a big year for him. Former undrafted free agent, has been a great story, and they've got that great tandem running back for the Arthur Smith Bowl, by the way, in Atlanta. So we look forward to seeing that game on Sunday. But Atlanta's healthy. Your Steelers are not. But it's generally, again, on the offensive side of football. Defensively, they're healthy.
Let's talk about the Eagles. All of a sudden, they've got a problem in their back end heading to Sao Paulo.
Yeah, they are actually in Brazil. They had a workout today. This is a little bit of a surprise, but let me explain. So Isaiah Rodgers, Scott, you might remember he was one of the players who was banned for a year due to gambling, right? So he signed a 1-year deal with the Eagles. No guaranteed money, kind of what we call the old make-good contract. If you want to get paid, you got to be on the roster. It's been a great story of development. He's actually been one of their top 3 outside corners. He hurt his hand a couple weeks ago. He didn't do anything last week, and the Eagles actually ruled him out today. That's a little bit of a surprise. So he's not going to play. Now, what they're going to do, Keely Ringo, who was a 4th-rounder last year out of University of Georgia, who had a very good training camp, he'll replace him as that 3rd outside corner. In fact, when they go to nickel, Quinyon Mitchell, their 1st-round pick out of Toledo, has been going inside, and Rodgers has been in the outside corner. So Ringo's going to replace him there. And though the Eagles feel much better about their secondary this year than they did last year, that not having Rodgers, who's, by the way, the fastest outside corner, that does worry me a little bit. And we'll break this the scheme down and the matchup down tomorrow for the Packers-Eagles. But this does worry me because the Packers are super loaded at that wide receiver position.
Before we get into your NFL win totals, I wanted to show you Carver High's sheet of integrity and get your assessment of these NFL win totals, the sheet of integrity.
All right. I'm staying away from the Patriots one. To take under, this is insane. I get it that Carver's getting them at plus 106 under. That to me, Scott, is a little bit of a stretch. I couldn't do that. The one I love, because you know I've been on the Packers this entire offseason. Packers fans gave me hate when I retweeted that video this morning. Was not good. See, I'm sorry, Lion fans did, because Lions were my team for the previous 2 years. But I love the Packers over 9.5. By the way, that's minus 138. Remember when I told you when these numbers came out back in May and June? I said get on them now because it's going to be harder, but it's still reasonable at minus 138 at 9.5. I love this one because this is funny. I love the Jets over 9.5. Mike loves them under plus 132. See, he's a Bills fan, okay? He's a Jets hater. As he said off the air, we know that the Jets are going to jet, but guess what? Aaron Rodgers is back. Scott, I've told you for weeks, if he plays 15 games, they're winning the AFC East, which we know they haven't done in a long, long time. But I'm telling you right now that Mike's going to be wrong about that one. We all agree on the Steelers over 8.5. That's plus 136. And I think I like what Mike said here with the Chargers under 8.5 and plus 104. They're one of the top three most overhyped teams because Jim Harbaugh, I get it, he's won everywhere. But they got issues on the roster. I don't agree with it. I do agree with Mike on the over on the Bucks at over 7.5 at minus 132. And Scott, you and I have talked about this. The Bears are the number one hype team. Matt Eberflus all of a sudden is going to win Coach of the Year, right? I like the under at plus 130 because again they're super overhyped. The betting markets have pushed this number over. A lot of people are going over, not under, like Mike and I do. I like that under, but overall here, the one that I just don't agree with, I disagree strongly, vehemently. The Jets, and I don't like to say the lock word, but I'm telling you, if Rodgers plays 15 games or more, this team's healthy. They are a shoo-in to win the AFC East.
I love Kaplan. He's got him playing 15 games. Meanwhile, he played 4 snaps last season, and he was finished. All right, let's look at your win totals, Cap.
Yep. So the ones that I like, Scott, do you want to start with the AFC? You want to start let's just go overall, right? Let's just go overall. And this is a big number, okay? The Niners at 10.5 at minus 190. Scott, they're going to win 12 to 13 games. Now, this is interesting. The total at 11.5. The over is plus 125, folks. That's where the value is. The Niners are the best NFC team. They got the Ayuk contract straightened out. They got the Trent Williams thing straightened out. Now, McCaffrey has got that calf issue, which they've now listed more of Achilles.
Right.
They're not worried about him playing, but you just mentioned it. Now, he's 28 years old. You worry about this. He had a calf injury or an issue late last season, so you got to watch this. But the over clearly at 11.5, that is a value at plus 125. That's one I like. Now, yes, I'm picking the Packers. I want to make this clear here. Yes, I'm picking the Packers to shock the world and win the NFC North. But the 10.5 at minus 135 for the Lions, they're going to win. Okay, they're going to win 11 or 12 games. And the Packers, depending on which book you're looking at, which I've told you, since May, Scott, I've told you, at 9.5, again, minus 145, that's like stealing. Again, if they're healthy, they're going to get that easily.
What about your Eagles? You have them winning 11 or more games.
Yeah, I have them on there. The reason why I didn't put an X next to that one.
Homers.
No, but here's the thing, Scott. This is a tough matchup. Their schedule, I would call that moderate. I gave that a 2.5 schedule. That's sort of moderate for me, my 5-point grading system. But the thing is, the roster is not great. The thing is, the coaching is going to be better. But again, Scott, I don't like him over 8.5 as much as 10.5 as much as other people do.
When we come back, another segment with Adam Kaplan, and we'll get his AFC win totals.
anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Try and set the stage for what should be a great year of NFL action.
There's a handful of teams that potentially can compete for a Super Bowl championship.
Confusion and uncertainty this year more than some in the past.
This team looks it's ready to make a move, but we just don't know if it's bad or good this year.
J.J. McCarthy is eventually going to take over, but it's like it's a no-lose situation for them.
I mean, they suck. They were 7-10.
Only on SportsGrid.
Let's go. Welcome to the Live Golf Team Championship. The golf has been mesmerizing. They are the Live Golf Team Champions.
Team golf is back.
Oh, yes!
Are you ready?
Let's go! That's what champions do.
All right, another shot here with Adam Kaplan, our NFL insider. Again, you can follow him on X at Kaplan NFL and see him here regularly on Coast to Coast and across the board on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. And let's get your AFC win totals now. You've given us your NFC side, and obviously he's homerized on the Eagles. I like the Cowboys to do better than he does. And we'll see how that plays out. I agree with him on a lot of stuff. We've gone through division winners on this show earlier in the week, and I agree with him on a lot of that. We were in concert there. Let's go with your AFC sides now.
All right. Though the Bills will not win the division, the AFC East, I do like them over 9.5, and they're minus 145. There are questions about the roster. There's no question. There's no doubt about it. The receiver core has been totally revamped. It's going to look different. Defensively, the question around the league is when people grade and look at that roster is where's the pass rush? What does Von Miller have left? What Greg Rousseau's an okay player. Matt Milano and his injury, that absolutely concerns me. He's arguably the NFL's best linebacker covering tight ends. They're going to have a new cornerback group. It's just different. It's just not with Josh Allen, because he's so dynamic and great, he'll carry the team to 10-7. So I like them slightly over that total. The Browns, now, look, we could debate how good the Browns are and how good Watson is, who's not played well quarterback since 2020. Really good offensive line. I get Nick Chubb's coming back from a serious injury. Jerome Ford did a good job filling in for him last year. Remember, they made the playoffs with Joe Flacco. Excellent defensive front, great coaching. 8.5, come on, at minus 140, you got to like that over. This one surprises me, Scott. And you and I have been talking about the AFC West and why the Chiefs a bigger favorite with all the talent that they have. Now, their win total is high at 11.5, but Scott, they're going to be 13-4. That's what I've got them at. 11.5 is minus 115. I know that's a lot. That's rich for people at 11.5. The under, by the way, is minus 105, but I do like the over. One of my favorite ones is the Jets at 9.5, over 160. The under is plus 130. And by the way, at 10.5, the over is plus 125. That, by the way, if you really want to be bold, is a pretty good value. But I'm more bullish on the Jets than most people. I get it. As Carver said, the Jets are always going to jet. Well, the jet, that means Rodgers would have to get hurt again. but I like the Jets. The Ravens, good roster, new defensive coordinator. Mike McDonald's gone, their defense coordinator. Zach Orr, 32, is their new defensive coordinator, first-time play caller. 10.5, though, offense has a chance to be dynamic. At minus 120, I like that over. And your Steelers, we all great. Carver loved it. I like it. You loved it. 7.5, look, I get it. They got some issues on offense, but the over's minus 185. That is rich, but they're getting, folks, they're getting 8. They're going to get at least 8 and probably 9.
I think Carver High Sheet had it at they had to get 9. It was at I think 8.5 on his sheet, unless I'm tripping. So either or, I think it has moved. He has it at over 8.5. It's moved to 8.5 from 7.5. I thought they could have easily gotten 8. Getting 9 to me is going to be brutal. They have a brutal schedule. Now let's shift gears to tonight's NFL Pain Day opener at Arrowhead between the Ravens and Chiefs. Why don't you start on the Baltimore side?
Can't wait for this game. This game, by the way, will be in Chiefs Kingdom. And the Ravens here is a 3-point dog. They're interesting because Scott, one of the best road teams in the NFL last season, at 7-1 during the regular season. It's never been a problem with Lamar Jackson, John Harbaugh working together, with them being on the road. They don't deal with crowd noise. We know how crazy it is in Arrowhead. It's not going to be a problem. But as I told you when I was there at training camp, and other teams see it the same way, when you put Derrick Henry with Lamar Jackson and running RPOs where it's a run-pass option, is he going to hand it off? Is he going to run or is he going to throw it? I know the way their defense reacted in training camp. The defense at times had no idea what to do, as good as it's going to be. Because when you have Derrick Henry in your backfield, and I get it, some people around the league think he's not quite what he once was. He's still very good. And you've got Lamar Jackson, who's unbelievably electric with the ball in his hands. That's going to be really tough for Steve Spagnuolo, the defensive coordinator for the Chiefs tonight. They've not seen anything like this before. In fact, show me a backfield with a quarterback who runs like this and a back who runs like he can in Henry. So that's going to be very interesting. And talking to the Ravens, they feel super good about their skill positions. We just talked about Henry, obviously, at running back. Isaiah Likely, arguably NFL's best backup tight end. How great was he filling in for Mark Andrews? Great athlete. They're a Big 12 personnel team. Zay Flowers had a good rookie season. Rashad Bateman is finally healthy at wide receiver. They actually have some depth at receiver. They're really good at offense. Defensively, though, the one issue is Zach Orr. There's a saying in the NFL, you don't know until you get there. So that's a little bit troublesome with Zach Orr not calling plays before. Youngest coordinator of the National Football League, but pretty sharp guy from what I'm told. This is a good Ravens team in the NFL's toughest division.
They had the best defense. They allowed 16.5 a game, the most sacks, the most takeaways. And you're going to tell me that they're going to – you didn't say it, but they're not going to be good because McDonald went to Seattle and that skilled group of defensive players that they have. No Patrick Queen, I'll give you that. But you think they drop off that significantly?
No, not that. No, I'm still going to pick them to win a division, but I'm not putting them in the Super Bowl. They're not going to get there. But here's the funny thing. This could be a preview of the AFC Championship game, there's no question, which, by the way, most likely will be played in Arrowhead. But the Chiefs, Scott, I know talking to people close to this situation, replacing Tyreek Hill is tough, okay? I give Andy Reid credit. Unbelievable job of manufacturing points, playing somewhat of what we call small ball. But now they've got Xavier Worthy. Hollywood Brown's not playing with a shoulder problem. Probably going to miss a couple weeks, but he's doing better. But he's got to get cleared medically. And once you get Hollywood Brown back with this skill group, it's going to be fantastic. Defensively, the one issue you and I have talked about, no L'Jarius Sneed in the secondary. That does worry me. They're not very strong at corner. But offensively, they're going to be pretty good. But again, the Chiefs are -3 and 46.5.
They were 5-4 at home last year. Who do you like tonight with that 3? Are you taking Baltimore or are you laying it with Kansas City?
I'm taking Baltimore. They're in better shape than the Chiefs are right now. I'm a little bit worried about the speed of the receivers without Hollywood Brown. But once you get Hollywood Brown back with Worthy, look out.
All right, hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. We got Packers and the Eagles in Sao Paulo. Thanks,
anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Try and set the stage for what should be a great year of NFL action.
There's a handful of teams that potentially can compete for a Super Bowl championship.
Confusion and uncertainty this year more than some in the past.
This team looks like it's ready to make a move, but we just don't know if it's bad or good this year.
J.J. McCarthy is eventually going to take over, but it's like it's a no-lose situation for them.
I mean, they suck. They were 7-10.
Only on SportsGrid.
Let's go. Welcome to the Live Golf Team Championship. The golf has been mesmerizing. They are the Live Golf Team champions.
Team golf is back.
Oh, yes!
Are you ready?
Let's go! That's what champions do.
Long Island Bulldogs. Rally cap. The rally monkey was out last night. What happened, Carver High? Before you do leftovers, give us an update on the girls' opening night.
Yes, down 5 runs going into the final at bat. It was getting dark. The rally came out, a 5-run inning to tie. 6-6 tie. We were down 5-1 going, 6-1, whatever it was, 6-1 going into the final inning. We scored 5 runs. Then the darkness came, and apparently you can't score more than 5 runs in an inning. So we tied 6-6.
The 5-run rule, the dreaded 5-run rule. And then the proverbial question on the way home from Ray Lewis, quote, "What does kissing your sister mean, Dad?" End quote.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. A tie. So we're finally tracking wins and losses, and we didn't get either of those in our first game. But we'll try again on Saturday afternoon. Didn't lose. And I like that the girls showed some fight in that final inning and came back and scratched and clawed for all those runs at the end. Which is nice. How about some leftovers before we leave here today? We have quite a few today. Some basketball ones as well. The Orlando Magic signed back-to-back dunk champ Mac McClung to a partially guaranteed deal. Get ready for some dunks down in Orlando this coming season, Scotty. Very exciting for them. Steph Curry says NBA ownership definitely is on the table for him. When you make $65 million a year, I guess eventually NBA ownership can be on the table for you at some point with the amount of money that he's raking in every season. Caitlin Clark records her second career triple-double in the Fever's win over the Sparks. They don't lose anymore, by the way. She destroys everyone every night. Are there still people, Scotty, having those dopey conversations about who should win Rookie of the Year in that league? Or I'll tell you this, and I know she's not going to win it. She's closer to winning MVP right now than losing Rookie of the Year. That's how close she is right now for that. She's been so good lately. What you have, 29 and what? Yeah, I mean that's ridiculous.
I can't keep track anymore of all of her records.
Unbelievable. The number 1 overall pick in the NHL draft, Macklin Celebrini, of course, going to be playing for the Sharks this year. And I always love when the kids do this, Scotty. He's going to shack up at the Thornton House. Jumbo Joe. Going to have Macklin Celebrini playing Xbox with the kids downstairs in the basement as he'll live with his family this year, which I don't get because doesn't his dad work for the Warriors? Aren't they pretty close that he can make it? But I think he wants the full hockey, NHL experience. Go live, go do all that.
Can't live with mommy and daddy.
No, you can't do that. United States women's soccer legend Alex Morgan announces her retirement. She is done. Jorge Masvidal hints at a UFC return. Why? We don't know. But apparently he wants to fight Michael Chandler, Leon Edwards, and a host of others when he does come back. So I know you're excited for more Jorge Masvidal. I guess boxing didn't work out, so he's going to go back to the UFC.
The baddest mother Ferreller, Jorge Masvidal, used to brawl in the alleyway behind his house. Anyway, Ferreller finished. Uganda's Cheptegei, the girl that was the marathon runner, her boyfriend, what a guy, set her on fire, and she's now dead. And he set himself on fire. He's got like 40% burns all over his body. He's in the hospital. He's going to be charged with murder. He killed her. He set her on fire and killed her. What a guy. Border agents seized $5 million in meth disguised as a watermelon shipment at the border. Watermelon for everybody. Everyone loves watermelon, especially when you stay awake for 4 days after 2 bites of it. Stabbings and slashing surge in New York City, up 6% on the year. I told you it's tough getting a bagel in the morning. You gotta Walter Payton your way down the street. There is a serial groper as well on the loose in New York City. I have yet to have my ass squeezed by the serial groper. Carver High's got to look out for him. A 24-year-old man in New York was struck in the head with a hammer in a sneak attack on the streets of New York City. This is a tough situation. Remember the guy that broke into Pelosi's house or whatever with a hammer? That guy got 30 years. A New York anesthesiologist is convicted of drugging and sexually assaulting his kid's nanny. Doped up the nanny and then started going to town on her when the kids were up in bed. Heaven forbid. GTD is next. Go to FerrallOnABench.com if you're American. Also, remember tomorrow, Sao Paulo. We're live at 3 on Coast to Coast.
Contest show in the land. The Las Vegas Football Contest Show focuses on Circa Sports Million, Circa Survivor, and the Westgate Super Contest, handicapping the games and releasing our contest picks every week of the season. With 2 former Super Contest winners, Brady Cannon and James Salinas, a former NFL player, Mike Pritchard, and over $1 million in contest prize money won combined, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show will have you prepared this season like none other.
Carlos Alcaraz has won the last 2 Grand Slam titles at the French Open on the clay and at Wimbledon earlier this summer. He enters as the favorite.
You have a bunch of depth there. Francis Tiafoe, Ben Shelton, they will likely play in round 3. The winner would play Djokovic most likely, which would be an incredible match. I like Ben Shelton as a sleeper. If Djokovic is hurt, you never know. I think Shelton could actually be the guy that gets hot. The conditions favor him.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
When you're really, really amazing like this, people kind of take it for granted. Same with Ohtani, right? People will sort of see, oh, Ohtani did this, Ohtani did that, and it sort of, becomes normalized a little bit. But to put in context, Aaron Judge joins the 1,000 hit club, reaches, gets it done. So earlier this month, he was the fastest player to reach 300 home runs ever.
Sports Rage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
The leftover language would be the million shy of what Jefferson makes Jefferson a better player. If you want to believe that, I'm not sure I buy that he's that much better than CeeDee Lamb.
Tony Pollard's gone. He's now with the Titans. I was with the Titans a couple weeks ago. He'll be their starting running back there. They're going a different direction in Dallas, but it's all about CeeDee Lamb right now, the first of the other deals that they have to get done.
Ferrall Coast to Coast, only on